बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मद कमा सल्लैता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। अल्लाहुम्मा बारिक अला मुहम्मदिन व अला आलि मुहम्मद कमा बारकता अला इब्राहीम व अला आलि इब्राहीम इन्नका हमीदुम मजीद। यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंध लाड़काना कैंपस फाइनल एग्जामिनेशन प्रेजेंटेशन वीडियो presented by Parvez Ahmad Chandio, batch 2K19 LBBA, roll number 61, subject Pakistan study. My topics are Lahore Resolution, 14 points of Qaid-e-Azam, history of Muslim League, 1957 war, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan biography, and Nehru report. Topic number 1, Lahore Resolution. Lahore Resolution was written and prepared by Muhammad Zafarullah Khan and was presented by A.K. Fazlul Haq, the Prime Minister of Bengal. Was a formal political statement adopted by the All India Muslim League on the occasion of its three-day general session in Lahore on 22 to 24 March 1940. The resolution called for an independent state as seen by the statement that geographically contiguous units are demarcated regions which should be constituted with such territorial readjustments as may be necessary that the areas in which the Muslims are numerically in a majority, as in the northwestern and eastern zones of British India, should be grouped to constitute independent states, in which the constituent units should be autonomous and sovereign. What were the objectives of 1940 resolution? The objectives of resolution are as following. The state shall exercise its power and authority through the choose representatives of the people. It means that the new state should be a democratic state and there should be democratic representatives of the state chosen by the people by the elections. The principle of democracy, freedom, equality, tolerance, and social justice as pronounced by Islam shall be fully observed, and the Islamic values and beliefs will be restored. Muslims shall be enabled to order their lives in the individual and collective sphere in accordance with the teachings of Islam and set out in Holy Quran and Sunni. Historical importance of Lahore Resolution. Setting of goals. The approval of Pakistan Resolution set a target for the Indian Muslims, which was creation of Pakistan. Muslims unity. After the setting of goals, the interest for the unity of Muslims increased rapidly. Muslims started to unite at the platform of Muslim League. This helped in the unity of Muslims in India. Conclusion. It determined for the Muslims a true goal and their homeland in northeast and northwest. The acceptance of Pakistan Resolution accelerated the pace of freedom movement. It gave new energy and courage to the Muslims who gathered around Muhammad Ali Jinnah for struggle of their religion and the struggle of their homeland. And now my second topic is All India Muslim League. Introduction. The All India Muslim League was a political party established in 1906 in British India. Its strong advocacy for the establishment of a separate Muslim majority nation state, Pakistan successfully led to the partition of India in 1947 by the British Empire. Foundation. The All India Muslim League established at Dhaka, Bangladesh in 1906. Their leaders were Nawab Wakarul Malik. It was founded on 30 December 1906 in Dhaka, Bengal Presidency, British India. Its first headquarters was in Lucknow, and its ideology was political rights for Muslims. Separate electorates. The Muslim League's insistence on separate electorates and reserved seats in the imperial councils were granted in the Indian Councils Act after the League held protests in India and lobbied London. In early years it was very weak, but after a few years it was very strong and popular among the Muslims. Communalism grows. Politically, there was a degree of unity between Muslims and Hindu leaders after World War I, as typified by the Khilafat movement. Relationships cooled sharply after that campaign ended in 1922. Communalism grew rapidly, forcing the two groups apart. Major riots broke out in numerous cities, including 91 between 1923 and 1927 in Uttar Pradesh alone. At the leadership level, the proportion of Muslims among delegates to the Congress party fell sharply from 11% in 1921 to under 4% in 1923. Conception of Pakistan. On 29 December 1930, Sir Muhammad Iqbal delivered his monumental presidential address to the All India Muslim League and session. He said, "I would like to see Punjab, Northwest frontier, modern-day Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh and Balochistan as a separate homeland for Muslims." At a League conference in Lahore in 1940, Jinnah said, "Hindus and Muslims belong to two different religious philosophies, social customs, literature. It is quite clear that Hindus and Muslims derive their inspirations from different sources of history. They have different epics, different heroes, and different episodes. To yoke together two such nations under a single state, one as a numerical minority and the other as a majority, must lead to growing discontent and final destruction of any fabric that may be built up for the government of such a state." Impact on the future courses of the subcontinent. Pakistan. After the partition of the British Indian Empire, the Muslim League played a major role in giving to modern convertism in Pakistan and the introduction of the democratic process in the country. In India, after the partition of India in 1947, the All India Muslim League was disbanded. It was succeeded by Indian Union Muslim League in the new India. Indian Union Muslim League contests Indian general elections under the Indian Constitution. (1957) War of Independence. The War of Independence is an important landmark in the history of subcontinent. This war was fought in 1857 by Indians against the British in order to get rid of their domination. It is also given names as Indian Rebellion, Indian Mutiny, as well as Indian Revolt. This war was not spread throughout India, but it was limited to a few years, mainly Meerut, Delhi, Kanpur, Lucknow, etc. The main event which became the immediate cause of the war was the refusal of the sepoys to use the grease-covered cartridges greased with fat of pig and cow. On January 23, 1857, at the same time, an Indian sepoy killed two British officers at Barakpur when he was forced to use grease cartridges. He was arrested and hanged to death on 8 April 1857. This news spread as fast as jungle fire. Causes of the rebellion. The Indian rebellion of 1857 occurred as the result of accumulation of factors over time rather than any single event. The sepoys were Indian soldiers who were recruited into the company's army just before the rebellion. There were over 3 lakh sepoys in the army compared to about 50,000 British. There were also grievances over the issue of promotions based on seniority. This as well increasing number of British officers in the battalions made promotion slow, and many Indian officers did not reach commissioned rank until they were too old to be effective. Unrest during April 1857. During April, there was unrest and fires at Agra, Allahabad, and Ambala. At Ambala, in particular, which was a large military cantonment where several units had been collected for their annual musketry practice, it was clear to General Anson, Commander-in-Chief of the Bengal Army, that some sort of rebellion over the cartridges was imminent. Despite the objections of the civilian Governor-General's staff, he agreed to postpone the musketry practice and allow a new drill by which the soldiers tore the cartouche with their fingers rather than their teeth. The Hindus and Muslims joined together to support each other against British Raj, but the British soldiers were against them and they harshly opposed them. The consequences of the revolt. Both sides committed atrocities against civilians. In Oudh alone, some estimates put the toll at 150,000 Indians killed during the war, with 1 lakh of them being civilians. The capture of Delhi, Allahabad, Kanpur and Lucknow by British forces were forced by General massacres. Conclusion: this was the beginning of the first independence movement in subcontinent against British Raj. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Biography of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Sir Syed Ahmad Taqvi bin Syed Muhammad Muttaqi, commonly known as Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, was an Islamic pragmatist, Islamic reformer and philosopher of 19th century British India, born into a family with strong debts to the Mughal court. Ahmad studied the Quran and sciences. Within the court, he was awarded as honorary LL.D. from the University of Edinburgh in 1989. In 1838, Syed Ahmad entered the service of East India Company and went on to become a judge at a small cause court in 1867. Retiring from 1876 during the Indian Rebellion of 1857, he remained loyal to the British Raj and was noted for his actions in saving European lives. After the rebellion, he penned and booklet The Causes of the Indian Mutiny, a daring critique at the time of British policies and that he blamed for causing the revolt. Believing that the future of Muslims was threatened by the rigidity of their orthodox outlook. Sir Syed Ahmad began promoting Western-style scientific education by founding modern schools and journals and organizing Islamic entrepreneurs. Early life. Syed Ahmad Taqvi Khan Bahadur was born on 17 October 1817 in Delhi, which was the capital of Mughal Empire. In the ruling times of Mughal Emperor Akbar II, many generations of his family had been highly connected with the administrative position in Mughal Empire. However, Sir Syed Ahmad was born at a time when his father was regional insurrections headed and led by East India Company, and the British Empire had diminished the extent and power of the Mughal state. Sir Syed Ahmad's elder brother founded the city's first printing press in the Urdu language along with the journal Sayyidul Akbar. Career. Having recognized the steady decline in the Mughal political power, Sir Syed decided to enter the service of the East India Company. He could not enter the English civil service because it was only in 1960s that natives were admitted. His first appointment was as Saristadar cleric at the courts of law in Agra, responsible for record keeping and managing court affairs. In 1840, he was promoted to the title of Munshi. In 1858, he was appointed to a high-ranking post at the court of Muradabad when he began working on his most famous literacy work. Causes of Indian Revolt. Sir Syed Ahmad supported the British during 1857 uprising, a role which has been criticized by some nationalists such as Jamaluddin Afghani. Final year in legacy. Sir Syed Ahmad is widely commemorated across South Asia as a great Muslim social reformer and visionary. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan lived the last 2 decades of his life in Aligarh, and he died on 27 March 1898. The Nehru Report of 10 August 1928 was a memorandum to appeal for a new dominion status and a federal setup of government for the Constitution of India. It also proposed for the joint electorates with reservation of seats for minorities in the legislature. It was prepared by a committee of the All Parties Conference chaired by Motilal Nehru with his son Jawaharlal Nehru acting as a secretary. There were 9 other members in this committee. The final report was signed by Motilal Nehru and Jawaharlal Nehru, Ali Imam, Tej Bahadur Sapru, Madhav Shrihari Ane, Mangal Singh, Shoaib Qureshi, Subhas Chandra Bose, and G.R. Pradhan. 14 points of Qaid-e-Azam. The 14 points of Jinnah were proposed by Muhammad Ali Jinnah as a constitutional reform planned to safeguard the political rights of Muslims in a self-governing India. In 1928, an all-parties conference was convened to solve the constitutional problems for Muslims. A committee was set up under Motilal Nehru. That committee prepared a report which is known as Nehru Report. This report demanded dominion status for India, separate electorates were refused and the reservation of seats for the Muslims of Bengal and Punjab was rejected. In this report, not a single demand of Muslims was upheld. Since Nehru report was the last word from Hindus, therefore Mr. Jinnah authorized to draft in concise terms the basis of any future constitution that was to be devised for India. Jinnah's aim was to get rights for Muslims. He therefore gave his 14 points. These points covered all of the interests of Muslims at a heated time, and in this Jinnah stated that it was the parting of ways, and what he did not want and would not have anything to do with the Indian National Congress, and would not have anything to do with the Indian National Conference in the future. The League leaders motivated Jinnah to revive the Muslim League and gave it direction. As a result, these points became the demands of the Muslims and greatly influenced the Muslims' thinking for the next 2 decades until the establishment of Pakistan in 1947. Background. The report was given in a meeting of the Council of the All India Muslim League on 9th March 1929. The Nehru report was criticized by Muslim leaders Aga Khan and Muhammad Shafi. They considered it as a death warrant because it recommended just joint electoral rolls for Hindus and Muslims. The 14 points. Number 1. The form of the future constitution should be federal with the residuary power vested in the provinces. A uniform measure of autonomy shall be granted to all Hindus and Muslims together. Number 3. All legislatures in the country and other elected bodies shall be constituted on the definite principle of adequate and effective representation of minorities in every province without reducing the majority in any province to a minority or even equality. Number 4. In the central legislation, Muslim representation should not be less than 1/3. Number 5. Representation of communal groups shall continue to be utilizing separate electorate as at present, provided it shall be open to any community at any time to abandon its separate electorate in favor of a joint electorate. Number 6. Any territorial distribution that might at any time be necessary shall not in any way affect the Muslim majority. Number 7. Full religious liberty. Example: liberty of belief, worship and observance, propaganda, association and education shall be guaranteed to all communities. No bill or resolution or any part thereof shall be passed in any legislation or legislature or any other elected body if 3/4 of the member of any community in that particular body oppose it. Sindh should be separated from the Bombay Presidency. Number 10. Reforms should be introduced in Northwest Frontier Province, Balochistan, on the same footing as in other provinces. Number 11. Muslims should be given adequate share along with the other Indians in all services of the state. Number 12. The Constitution should embody adequate safeguards for the protection of Muslim culture and the protection and promotion of Muslim education, language, religion, personal laws, and Muslim charitable. Number 13. No cabinet, either central or provisional, should be formed without there being a proportion of at least one-third Muslim ministers. Number 14. No change shall be made in the constitution by the central legislature except with the occurrence of the state constituting the Indian Federation. Thank you so much. This was my presentation video. Shukr alhamdulillah.